Hey, Michael here, Wavy Michael, answering some more questions. And a question I got here today to answer is the question that says, why is it so hard to learn from our mistakes? I think a lot of that of why it's so hard to learn from our mistakes can be pride, ego, um, uh, I guess willingness to accept failure, a bunch of those things. Those three things I can think of right now. Because for me personally, I'll try to learn from my mistakes because I know how better and good of a person it can make you to learn from your mistakes. And I look at it as a thing of like, oh, it's a mistake. Okay, well, that didn't work out. Fix it up, get past that, and then move on to the next thing. Carry on in a way where more can get done in a better, efficient way, and move on. I try to like hold on to the mistakes that I made, or like uh, unable to move on from it and struggle with it. And I always, especially, try not to make the same mistakes, because I want to be more efficient and just move on, do better and different things. But if I look at it as in I'm sitting there just keep making the same mistake, I'm not learning from it, and I keep making the same mistake, then it's like that's kind of a pain because I don't want to be repeating myself that much in that way. Because life's short, so why sit there repeating yourself, doing the same things over and over again, by making the same mistakes and not learning from it, and then just keep being in a cycle of not growing. So that question of like, why is it so hard to learn from our mistakes? Um, yeah, it can be pride and things of that, ego, not wanting to admit that you made a mistake. Because if you admit you make a mistake, then it's like, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to learn from it and move on, or not move on, so not learn from it, and just seem like a kind of ignorant, dumb person who just is stuck on the mistake and wanting to argue about that and not, move on. So, yeah. If you have pride and stuff, it makes it hard to move on from your mistakes. That's not good. You need to work on that. If it's ego, where you feel like you're at a certain point and you should be doing a certain thing or know certain things, you just don't want to admit your mistakes to move on from them. That's not good. You need to work on that too. And then if it's just like unwillingness to admit that you made a mistake, you need to work on that too. Because if you're young in life, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes coming up more in your life and late in the middle of your life, later on in your life. And if you're older in life, you should have already made a bunch of mistakes, and you know that making mistakes is a part of life, in different stages, all stages of life. If you have a lot of experiences in life with friends, family, work, you'll know that in all those different areas you'll make mistakes, and then you'll need to, know that you need to learn from those mistakes and not make those mistakes again. Not to, kind of be hard headed to think, you don't want to move on from a mistake because, yeah, you can't admit that you made a mistake. So, I think, it's just hard because people, they have other. It's not hard to move on from a mistake, but I think people make it hard, and it's because they have something else, another reason why it's so hard for them to move on from their mistake. So I try not to make that be the issue with me. Like I said, if it's a mistake, and then I recognize that it's a mistake, then I'm like, oh, okay, oof, I made a mistake. I need to do better. If it's a mistake and someone points it out to me, then I'm like, wait, what do you mean? And I'll hear them out, and I'll be like, okay, I can see what you mean. That is a pretty big mistake on my part, and yeah, I hear what you're saying. And then I'll try to move on from it. I'll try to find, like, if it's a mistake, then there's a correct way. I'll try to find the correct way and do the correct thing and move on from it, because I just want to keep moving on, doing other things, not just stuck in mistaken ways. So I try not to be that person where I refuse to admit I made a mistake, I'm too prideful to admit it and move on, or I got such an ego that I can't admit it and move on. And suggest that you not be that person either, because it won't be good for you or your life. Because as I said, in different stages of life, all stages of life, you will make mistakes, big ones and little ones. So just yeah, you got to admit and know that once you make a mistake, there's a chance to do the right thing and correct it, and then move on and do more stuff. Yeah, you don't want to be stagnant in life. You want to keep moving on and doing a bunch of stuff, because, like I said, life is short, and so you want to fill it with as much things, good things, if possible. That's productive things that you could be doing, not just making mistakes and stuck on mistakes that people around you can see as a mistake and are trying to tell you, but you don't want to listen to them. You don't want to recognize it as a mistake. You don't want to try to find a correct way and fix it and leave that mistake. So that's just me talking a little on that. Stay tuned for some more questions. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed. Thumbs up the video, and drop in the comments, if comment section, if you have a mistake that was a big mistake that you learned from. Just mention the comments. I'll read them and check them out. And I'll drop some words on it too. But yeah, let me know any of y'all mistakes that, you know, big or little, that you made, that you learned from. Because it's important to learn from your mistakes.